Hi, my name's Becky Massey, and I am going to present a project-based learning plan that my students have done. This is a project-based learning plan titled Life After Death. So, this is a unit that lasted approximately 3 weeks. The students were given a driving question: how can we, as paleontologists, hypothesize about the life of an animal based on its fossil? So students took on the role of professional paleontologists, and this created a more authentic learning experience. Students were presented with final project choices and newscast or a timeline, and there were various ways that they could do those newscasts or timelines. Lesson plans, there's the link for it, objectives and standards. So students researched how fossils were formed in order to theorize about the life and death of the animal, which included the fossilization process. Content standards included science for the fossils. ELA, students wrote an informational writing piece, and then students conducted research projects over various times. The ISTE and the NET standards empowered learners, so students took on active roles in choosing and achieving and demonstrating their knowledge and their learning goals. They were very good at troubleshooting current technologies. We have a technology team that has been trained, that was started training at the beginning of the year. And so as they are troubleshooting and helping other students, those students are catching on how to troubleshoot, and it is that knowledge is spreading throughout the class. Students were also creative communicators, in which they were able to freely express themselves creatively, and through various platforms. They were given several options to do that. That included technology and also more kinesthetic options, like building models and creating animals. The technology tools that I'm going to focus on are Bubble.us, and that's a mind map tool. And students, um, we did this at the very beginning of the unit to find out their background knowledge, which I soon found out came mostly from Jurassic Park. Students did a Google expedition of fossils. Our media center has Google expedition goggles, and they loved doing the fossils expedition. We did a Kahoot when we came back from Thanksgiving break, just to refresh their memories of the content and the goals of what they were going for. TouchCast is what we recorded with a green screen, the newscasts, and students really loved and enjoyed using the green screens and having the effects and being able to just utilize the technology involved in TouchCast. I was surprised by how quickly they were able to troubleshoot and fix and just learn that technology tool. There are several differentiation strategies. The first week of the unit, we front-loaded the information through reading groups, differentiated reading resources, students' choice of process and products, acknowledge their various learning abilities. Graphic organizers were given. Some of them were differentiated with prompts when necessary to remediate or extend. Sentence stems were provided. Auditory options were available through various research sites for listening to reading. As mentioned before, kinesthetic options were available for students to utilize, such as on BrainPop, make your own dinosaur, and then through the creation of product models with clay. Bilingual students were able to explain to new ESOL students the fossilization process, and the new ESOL students were able to catch on very quickly with the help of their native language. Communication, collaboration, and critical thinking skills are essential components in a PBL project. Students are, we discuss this with them explicitly, and they understand what that means, and we have protocols that we use to help establish those skills. There were several handouts, the graphic organizers for each type of product. There was an informational writing student checklist to help students cover all their bases with their informational writing piece, and TouchCast direction apps were given. And these are the links to the handouts. Assessments came in the form of an informational writing rubric, Lucy Calkins, student project and process reflection provided via the Buck Institute of Education, and team participation feedback rubric was provided from them as well, and product and presentation rubric. And these are the links to those assessments. My advice for anyone doing a project-based learning unit like this is to provide in-depth introduction to the technology tools prior to the start of the PBL project. Voice and choice is great, and we were encouraged to offer our students more voice and choice this year for this PBL project, but we soon realized we gave too many options and it was a little overwhelming. Graphic organizers, checklist, and formative assessments were integral to the organization of student thought and outcomes. Tripods for stabilizing recording. Students are not, third grade students are not capable of holding a device steady, and microphones to cancel out noise and project student voices. So this is my project, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much.